So to make a long story short, adding bass line. Okay, I don't understand what's going on. This is why I'm looking into new keyboards, synthesizers to be exact, or sound modules, because I want the strings, I want the background. Okay, listen to all this junk that's going on in the background. This is part of my sound that's coming from the sound module. Not good. It's getting worse, like everything. But so if I'm just playing along with something that I'm just basically, I've already got enough rhythm and melody and stuff going along. And then in the background, so it would be something like. Listen to all the crowd in the background. Not to mention, for some other reason, it's not, even though this thing has no way of getting out of tune unless you go in there and start messing with buttons and stuff and telling it to store the bank or to play along at a different tuning. And because if you go to system settings, it says 440 is your tuning. 440 is that note right there. 440 cycles per second is your A note. So if I were to play along with this, even though I just laid it down and there's no stretching of anything physical or material. So if I were to try to add something on top of it now, these days, it wasn't like that when I first got it. So it's in C. The drums were done on it, and the only reason why I'm getting away with that is because there's short input pulses. If I were to hold out long, drawn a note. Doesn't that sound wonderful? Isn't that something that you want to record with and post and share and hopefully be liked, as far as like Chad Harrison was he commented once, and I do the same thing when when I find something that just takes me to a different place in my head, I'll listen to it over and over. And he said that there was this one track that I put down that that I don't have names for anything like that, but it was something that was a little out of ordinary for me. And then he said that he sat and listened to it like on repeat for like 10 times in a row or something like that. That's a huge compliment, because not only did it put me in a place where I could listen to it and think, wow, I've stumbled across something that I don't want to forget, how I came to be this close to representing something that is what I've heard other bands like Pink Floyd and Dream Theater or the Moody Blues, those kind of groups, that they have these tracks that can, you know, they transport you, or they're in the music world, they're called ethereal, or something that just is out of this world, kind of like we know what out of this world sounds like. We're just guessing, but it takes us, transports us into a different frame mindset, and music does that. For some, reading books, for a long time, movies was that way, and then I was like 260 pounds. I was like, I'm spending too much time watching movies. I need to get up. So at this point, I'm just making these loops, trying to, at least so that I could practice playing guitar over them. And that's all. That's really all that's happening. sit here and listen to 20 minutes of this.